Hello guys, welcome back to another brand new anime named, The Ossan Newbie Adventurer, and the anime starts right when our protagonist was getting beaten to pulp. Well, actually he was being trained like this for the last 2 years and now his seniors says he's good to take an E-rank adventurer test. Rick had the dream to be an adventurer and people says it's best to fulfill the dream at a young age, especially when you want to be an adventurer, but people like Rick still chases after their dream, even though they are old. That's why he gets to the guild to become an adventurer and meets his colleague there. Rick didn't recognize her right away, but 2 years before they used to work together. When Rick resigned from work, Rick then realized she's Elisa and she asked Rick where he was this 2 years. Rick said in the mountains doing some training, and there a drunk came out to hit on Elisa, and when she refused to go out with him he got rough. So Rick just gives him a pat and bro falls unconscious. Rick thought bro is overly drunk and Elisa believed his words, and then she gave him his exam ticket. But the number was an unlucky one, so Rick gets out of the guild and meets Rionette. Rick said youngsters these days sure are confident that they could become anything, but Rionette asked why was he staring at her racks then, and as for that drunk, Rick's had made a dent in his armor, and others realized this guy is a former rank holder, and Elisa remembered Rick giving him a pat and was confused whether it was him. As for Rick, he took a health checkup and then came the magic test, where they had to put their hand on a crystal which test magic power, and the brighter the light, the higher the magic, and everyone there got C or D at least, but Rick got F-, so others started making fun of him for being worse than a kid. But when he left, that crystal broke off. Then comes the attack test and they have to attack green slime bag. For this Rick Sr. had said that he has to use muscle of his body to reach 100% power to blow up gold slime bag. Rick thought it's impossible. So Sr. showed him it's true and told him to punch 50,000 times on slime bag. Then the test begins and the first one took his test. The second one showed like he's a prideful moron. He's from a noble family and said to be at least as powerful as C-rank adventurer, and there the kid showed his magical powers and casted a fire spell, and the fireball was just as small as his height. So much for the fake show, but still he's proud. Rick had also trained with a senior mage, and her fireball was enough to flatten a whole mountain. So while remembering that the test continues, and finally it's Rick's turn, but the examiner tells him that he's too old for this. A person needs to train their mana from childhood to become strong, so he tells Rick not to make fun of himself and give up. Wait a sec, give up? Rick had crushed his knuckles while training, but he never gave up, so how could he give up now? That is why he used his half power and blasted the slime bag to shut their mouth, but bro thought slime bag was defective. And yet that half ticket thinks he will show Rick his place, because he's best in defense magic. And even in that test Rick shocked everyone, so the examiner was about to use 5th class magic and told Rick to use high-level defense, but Rick says he could only use 1st level of defense magic, which examiner found hard to believe, yet Rick said until now everything is going well, so just bring it on. Examiner thought bro is getting cocky and used the 5th class spell, and its blast was seen even from afar, and the one who saw it was 1st class Knight of Royal Knights. So he got to the guild to check out and their assistant told him about what happened. Rick was 32 and worked for 14 years as a receptionist, so Sylvester was confused, and at time Rick was giving a written exam, and after that he sat out with Rionette and told her he's confident in written but not in other tests, but there the half ticket comes to spoil the mood. His name is Fried and he's from the Damert family. So Rick thought he's a helpless child who got lost, but Fried was actually angry from jealousy that Rick stole the spotlight from him. And there a big sister came and she really turns out to be half ticket's big sis. Her name is Angelica, and Fried complains that the old man is bullying him. Rick says he's in his 30s, but Angelica thinks Fried is right, he's an old man, and challenges him to a duel. Rick didn't know the custom and picked up the gloves, which means he accepted the duel. Then Angelica said loser get to do whatever winner says because it's the rule of the duel in the kingdom. So Angelica wants Rick as her servant if she wins. She's a 2nd class knight from Royal Knights, which means she's at least at B rank, so Rick thinks he's screwed because he's a weak little F rank adventurer. So Rionette reminds him of the past training and bro threw up. But Rionette said to believe in himself and Rick got the confidence and got ready for the fight. Angelica also got ready to use her signature flash speed attack. And just in a blink of an eye she got behind Rick and said she just showed him how fast she is, so this time she got serious to attack, but Rick could see just how slow Big Sis is and dodges her attack. Angelica was surprised because only first rank knights could dodge her attacks, so she tried for the second time and yeah, she was super slow and slips out and comes like a wheel, yet this was dodged as well. Rick thought how formidable she is. And Angelica knew Rick didn't notice she fell and started to boost again. This time also she was super slow for him and Angelica was near her limit, so she thought to attack again and again, but the fourth time she fell off and Rick was about to punch her out, but thankfully Rick missed her face because if he didn't, he would have made a blood pool out of her. Angelica realized it was a mistake and Rick thought she was pretty powerful, so he must go all out, and right away, Angelica surrendered and said she's giving him the win for dodging her attacks, but Rick remembered the winner has to do what the loser says, and hearing that Angelica ran off, well, in any case, the result will be out soon, and Rionette told him that others are coming to check up on Rick. And right there, the first episode ends, but to see more, subscribe the channel and like the video to support me so that I can bring out more anime recaps to you all. Until then, take care.